Hello, hello, hello. It's me, 09, the white version. Or, I don't know, I still work on the name. 09D, maybe. For who knows what. And this is my assistant, Mr. Fox. Today we'll be watching videos about his mortal enemies, dogs. Comment and like the video if you like it, and say if you want more of this style of videos with double reaction, WX, yeah, and say if you want more Mr. Fox. Sadly he isn't very talkative. But he has very judging eyes, so if you don't want to be judged by Mr. Fox, you should not disappoint. But, okay. Enough of screwing around, let's start with the first video. It's from Doggo. The dog is really obsessed with sword fighting with her humans, the Dodo. So are we having like something like Sif from Dark Souls 1? To be fair, I hate that fight. I like Sif before I fought her. Bear me in the comments.
I present to you your weapon.
Pinto Bean had spent a lot of time watching us make skits using fake swords.
All the swords we use are fake. She saw us fighting each other and was like, okay, that's how it's done. But we didn't teach her, we didn't train her.
We didn't expect it from her. If I asked her to drop her sword, she's dropping it in a second.
Oh no, and you've been slain by the wolf.
She dropped her stick, picked up the fake sword that I was holding, and ran away with it.
Oh no, and she has upgraded her weaponry.
At that moment, our lives changed forever.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah?
There's a lady here who wants to speak to the manager.
What does she want?
I don't know, ma'am. What do you want?
We're out of treats. Just became so fierce with it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Think you've been neglecting someone.
Oh, you're really pretty. You're really pretty, Pinto. Really.
Pinto? What? That's very lame name.
From that moment, she's conquered all the lands with her might.
And she comes down with a strong paw on anyone who would defy her. Very much so, including the vacuum.
Come on, you know it's not that bad.
She must be stopped.
And so we have this incredibly epic sword fight.
We really play it up that she's fierce, and that's not her character at all.
She is a huge couch potato. When we do start playing, she can go for hours and hours.
And she does not go lightly with her weapon.
Pinto, I'm sorry, but a great sadness has happened. Her sword, her brand new one, could not take her might. It was too weak to stand up against the might of Pinto Bean.
But is this like some sort of anime swordsman that is too strong for their sword?
We gave her old sword a nice farewell ceremony as a thank you and remembrance for all of the great service it had done.
So we got the new sword.
It's here. It's here. It's here.
Look!
It was almost as if nothing changed.
She's like, all shall fall before me.
Well, your balls are off.
We really tried to squeeze her into every facet of our lives.
We're reading.
She really is the queen of the household here, and she has to have a sword that shows her power.
Good girl.
Okay, that was the video. So remember, guys, the key to happiness is to have wife and dog that will fight with you with the sword. Okay, that was fun. Subscribe to the channel. I will post the video in the description. When I mean subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the Doggo if you want to watch more of their stuff. Don't subscribe to me. I'm just spinning wheel. Okay, the next video is from Guy Hill. Why the Chernobyl dogs turning blue? That's awfully close to me. I hope there won't be any super mutant dogs from Fallouts. Let's see what it's all about. I presume it won't be as extreme as it is on the thumbnail.
Something weird is happening in the Chernobyl exclusion zone. No, it's not radiotrophic fungus or increasingly Stygian amphibians. This time, the dogs, they're turning blue. At least, that's what social media claims. The reality, which we're about to go through, is both a lot less and a lot more interesting than you think. But first, this video is brought to you in collaboration with the Clean Futures Fund, a US-based nonprofit organization that monitors and maintains the small population of wild dogs living in Chernobyl's exclusion zone. Since Russia's illegal invasion of Ukraine, the CFF also now provides supplies to returning soldiers and personnel and offers veterinary services to people in surrounding cities. After I returned from Chernobyl in 2021, I became the social media ambassador for the Dogs of Chernobyl program, and I can happily say that thanks to your support of videos like this one, you and I have raised over $100,000 for this program, the most it's ever gotten from a single source. So thank you.
Well, I only hope it won't be a scam like a lot of money that was given over the years.
If you've heard anything about these dogs in the last few years, it has come from Clean Futures Fund. I know that there's a lot going on in the world right now, and that you have 1,000 other things you could care about, but I continue to support the Dogs of Chernobyl program because it's the only one in the world that studies the effects of constant low-level ionizing radiation on human-sized mammals. That's something that I've recently staked my reputation on. Plus, they're all good boys, Brant. Look at him. Oh, look at him. Look at him, he looks like a little airbender. Come on, how can you? No, you can't adopt one. Sorry. As we go through this latest update, you're going to see brand new photos and videos taken by the CFF on their recent trip to the dog's grossly contaminated habitat. We continue to do these missions even during wartime at no small cost to both funds and safety. So, if you want to continue supporting our work in Ukraine with this fascinating population of puppies, please consider clicking this button on this YouTube video to make a tax-deductible donation. As a reward, I will give you the latest up-to-the-minute updates on the dogs in Ukraine, and spoiler alert, it's good news. It came as a surprise to the Clean Futures Fund when these photos started going viral. I guess that anything odd in a place as infamous as Chernobyl is going to gain traction. Unfortunately, a lot of that traction was negative. Comments claiming that the CFF was painting these dogs or using AI to get social media attention. To be clear, we could not even catch these dogs, let alone spray paint them. One thing you learn in the zone is that although many of these animals can trace their lineage all the way back to pets left behind after disaster in 1986, they are now a wild population. Many are friendly, and most that live near the power plant rely on human intervention for food and medicine, but they are not lapdogs. They recognize you, they run from you. So while we do catch and then spay new...
So basically, if you don't know what this means, it's that they are feral at this point. It's something that domestic animals can turn... Again. Domestic animals can turn feral if they are left in the wilderness. It's pretty much like switching genetics where as well we can domesticate a lot of things. A lot of things we domesticate can just turn back to feral state if they can survive in the wilderness.
Immunize, study, and otherwise interact with these dogs. These blue dogs in particular were never caught, so we can't say for sure why they're as blue as Chernobyl. Our current guess is that the dogs got into some cleaning chemical, maybe from a porta potty that was in the area. You know, dogs be doing dog things, they roll in poop and stuff like that. We can't say for sure. What we can say is that their coloration has nothing to do with radiation or mutation. This confusion was a problem when stories about Chernobyl's frogs came out. What appears to be happening in this case is that already naturally darker frogs are being selected for. It's not radiation dimming green frogs down. It's extremely unlikely for low-level ionization to create the radiation-induced mutations that would change the whole phenotype of an animal, what it looks like on the outside. That's not to say it's impossible. In fact, radiation-induced phenotypic changes to fruit flies were crucial data points in evolutionary science 100 years ago.
This story is very fascinating one, and one that isn't really talked about honestly. If you want, I can make video about the subject of evolution and the fruit flies experiments, because a lot of data from it is very sensationalized.
Ago. All this is to say that blue disinfecting liquid covering wildly inquisitive wild dogs is a better explanation than specific radiation-induced mutations that turn fur azure. Social media has also claimed that Chernobyl's dogs are evolving to be resistant to both radiation and radiation-induced cancer. There is no evidence of this. In fact, to date, we don't have much evidence in general. Dr. Timothy A. Mousseau, the CFF scientific advisor, points out that So far, the scientific literature has only conclusively demonstrated that there are two genetically distinct populations of semi-feral dogs in the zone. That's all the genetics that we have. While the relative isolation of these populations in Ukraine does encourage evolutionary change, we don't see any adaptive responses to low-level radiation so far. And I'll point out that expecting some extreme mutation is itself a misunderstanding of the radiation rates in the Chernobyl exclusion zone. This is a specific stretch of beach in Brazil, a popular tourist destination for decades. It's famous for its black sand, which is rich both in uranium and thorium. Dose rates on these beaches can get up to twice as high as what I personally measured inside the dome that houses the reactor for sarcophagus. And yet, we don't have mutant people flying back home from Brazil each summer. I'm being a little glib here, and it would not surprise me if this region of Brazil did in fact have lower rates of cancer, but it's an important comparison that puts the rates in Ukraine in proper context. They're just not that high.
Don't eat the whole box.
So, no, the puppies have not become immune or resistant to radiation or cancer. We don't have evidence of that, and it would be hard to get it, requiring many studies and thousands of observations across time. And even if low-level radiation was causing cancer in these animals, that's a disease that takes a long time to present itself. The sad truth of the situation in Ukraine is that most of these dogs don't live very long, making observing something like cancer difficult to observe in the first place. Inbreeding, lack of food and shelter, predation by wolves and bears, these are the real stressors on the population, not cesium-137. That's why we go in with kibble, kennels, and vaccines. Hey, check it out! That's us! Look, I know it's just for the lulz that we talk about anime girls playing with the demon core or radioactive shrimps spicing up your next cocktail party, but we keep going through this misinformation aspect of Chernobyl because I know for a fact that it causes a lot of psychological damage for the people who live and work in
Well, I don't want to say anything, but I feel like a lot of the thing for now is kind of lame. It demystifies the whole thing. Like, it's, I don't know. I sometimes feel like making a story huge is somewhat more fun than disproving a lot of things.
Ukraine every single day. Thousands of people. And we know that that stigma can be more impactful than any amount of low-level ionizing radiation. Okay, as promised, a pup date. Everything we know about the dogs of Chernobyl right now. The Clean Futures Fund started going to the Chernobyl exclusion zone in 2017. When we first got there, there were over 1,000 dogs and cats roaming it. As of October 5th, 2025, we have sterilized nearly every single dog in the zone, and their population has shrunk from an unstable 1,000 to a medically
Why you sterilized them? Isn't that like? I thought that they became part of natural environment. That seems cruel.
managed around 300 or so. When the dogs are caught for treatment, we apply temporary marker to their cute little faces to indicate animals we've already performed surgery on. It washes off in 2 to 3 days. I am very happy to report that all of Chernobyl's dogs now appear much healthier, and they are living much longer. When I was in Ukraine, it was rare to see a dog older than 3 to 5 years. Now there are several dogs older than 10. There are 15 dogs right now on daily arthritis medication to treat ailments not from radiation, but simple inbreeding. If you'd like to support the Clean Futures Fund, as we support a unique and fascinating population of puppies, please consider making a tax-deductible donation below. Thanks for watching.
that was not something that I expected. I don't want to judge, but this video kinda gave me at the end a feeling like if it was fake compassion. Maybe I'm jaded, but and I didn't like really what I saw in this video. I think the sword Doggo was much more much more wholesome than this, even though this supposed to be wholesome. Maybe I'm dumb and I didn't understand something. Well, tell me in the comments what did you think about this, and say if you prefer me doing, what type of reaction you prefer, the reaction to something like in the first video or in this video. I will try to adapt, though knowing me, I won't get much comments. So that was it. Like both videos will be in the description, and so if you want to support any of the channels I had shown, you can do it by checking the links. Give them a like or dislike if you liked the video or you disliked the video, and yeah, that's it for this one. Bye, and remember, when you shine, darkness fades. Bye.